Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the regular show house. This is once again part of my cartoon build series. We've made a lot of cartoon related builds now, but there's still plenty more to go. If you do want to see something specific, please do leave a comment down below. This has been a very highly requested house, and I just couldn't ignore it any longer. But if you do have something in mind that you want to see specifically on the channel, please do remember to leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the series, you want to continue it on, please do hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. But without any further ado, this is going to be a big build. It's going to be a long build. Let me show you how to make this house. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some block of quartz, some quartz slabs, some stone brick stairs, some stone brick slabs, some cyan concrete, some white stained glass pane, some white stained glass, some birchwood fence, and some quartz stairs. We also need a little bit of jungle leaf, some grass blocks, and some light grey concrete. That is more for the surrounding area rather than the house. So once you have all of this stuff, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and just to be safe guys, by the way, this house will take up about a 30 by 30 or so block area. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, just to let you know. Well, we're going to start off this build with a row of 7 block of quartz coming directly up from the ground. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what we then want to do is we want to take this 7th block and we want to use our quartz slab. We want to go left of the top part of the 7th block by 10, once again using the quartz slab. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you want to turn that 10th block into a quartz block, and you want to connect it down to the ground using quartz blocks. We then want to take the first block of quartz down, this one, we want to go left of this by 5 with these stone brick stairs. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a block of quartz next to that, connect that quartz down to the ground, and also extend it upwards by 1 in a similar fashion that we have on the opposite side. We then want to take the top of this block of quartz and we want to go left of it by 10 with the quartz slabs. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you want to turn that 10th block into a block of quartz, and once again you want to connect it all the way down to the ground, like this. Now, moving backwards from that 10th quartz block, we now want to place 22. We want to place 22 quartz slabs coming backwards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Turn that 22nd block into a block and then connect it down to the ground using your block of quartz, like this. Wonderful. And what we then want to do is we want to take that 22nd block and you want to extend it across the back of the build using your quartz slabs. You want to extend it across the back of the build, and the goal is to match it up with the first row that we place. So that's that row of 7 all the way at the start of the video. And you want to turn that block that matches up with the start of the video, you want to turn it into a solid block and connect it down to the ground using your quartz slabs and quartz blocks. Now for the side of the build, this is where things get just a tad bit different, just a little bit different. We want to take the first block down in this row of quartz, and we want to go left of it by 3 using stone brick stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3, like this. Place a block of quartz next to that, connect the quartz down to the ground, and extend it up by 1. And then connect that block of quartz to the front of the build using your quartz slab. So we want to have something which should look like this. And that's perfect, because once you got that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, what we can now do is we can create a pattern. So the quartz slabs want to go like this. You want to basically do this with them. You want to place a quartz slab underneath every other slab in your row of quartz slabs. This looks like hand railings. That's the entire point of it. And you want this sort of effect, right? Going all the way around. So you don't want 2 quartz blocks next to each other. So you want to place one every other block in an effort to create a nice simple pattern. It's for every single slab you want to have a quartz block that's moving backwards, that's moving across the side of the build, that's everywhere you want to have this pattern that you have placed your quartz slab. So it works for the back of the build, and on the side of the build it will also it will also work here as well. So you want to have something which should look exactly like that, right? Perfect. Well, once you got that sorted out, ladies and gents, this is what we're going to do next. So the only little bit of detail built underneath the railings exists on the front right hand side of the house. So just right at the long set of stairs here, we want to place a row of cyan concrete that looks like a capital, well, not a capital, that looks like a lowercase n, an upside down U, just underneath the railings running up the quartz blocks. We then want to place a similar row of block of quartz inside of this area, like this. Just like that. Then we want to, one row inside of this, we want to build up rows and rows and rows of quartz stairs in an effort to make a garage. That's what that's supposed to look like. That is supposed to look like a garage. And you're just going to want to come inside the build here, and you're going to want to place maybe some block of quartz, or maybe some stone brick stairs, or maybe some stone bricks rather, around the stairs inside the garage, just to make a solid shape rather than letting light and stuff in. It's up to you. What else are we going to do? So everywhere else, we want to place cyan concrete underneath the railings. This is a lengthy task. This is going to take a while. This is one of the reasons that the house takes so long to make. We want to fill underneath the railings absolutely everywhere else. We want to fill them in using cyan concrete, and it's going to look like that on every single side. So we want to do that on every single side. I don't know how many different ways to tell it to you until we just start doing it. So once again, you want to take the cyan concrete, you want to build up rows of it until it meets the bottom of the railings, and you won't be able to place it anywhere that it shouldn't be going. And by that I mean you're not going to be able to slide in between the railings because of the quartz slabs. There's no real way to mess this up, so we just want to place all of this. And later on, once we've done this, we'll be adding some additional details around the house. Don't worry guys, I've got you. I know that there's plenty of trees, there's plenty of bushes, there's plenty of dirt and stuff around this house. It's not just a nice big solid platform as we're building now. We're going to build up some of the terrain. Again, takes a long time, but it's definitely worth it, especially for these cartoon and movie related builds and stuff. I think that as much accuracy as you can get without making things like lifeless and weird looking is probably the way to go. So if you want to, feel free. It doesn't matter if you don't. You don't have to add the mound of dirt and the grass and the hedges, and I mean I kind of want to add some trees on this particular version as well. You don't have to add that if you don't want to, but the more you add, the more you relate it back to the original version of the house, I think the happier that you are going to be. So we're just filling in this final side, and once we've done this, we're actually going to add some stairs. And these stairs will take us up onto the porch of the regular house, and you guys will see where we're going to be making them. It's going to be very obvious because we already have some stairs in place anyway. So that is all of the cyan concrete added, right? What we're going to do next? Well, we have to build a frame for the stairs, okay? So anywhere that you have stairs, you basically want to build up rows of quartz blocks coming downwards in kind of like a triangular shape like this, right? And you want to stop when the row of quartz is only 2 blocks high. So just to show you again, like you want to build up kind of like a triangular pattern of block of quartz, and it wants to come all the way down to the bottom like this, and this is going to encase the stairs. So now you'll be able to very straightforwardly place some stone brick stairs coming downwards to hit the ground on both the front of the house, and we'll be using the same strategy on the side of the house as well. So we want to have something which should look like that. So as you can see, the quartz block are always 1 block higher than the actual stairs themselves. So let's move on to the side, and we'll do a similar thing here. So on the side, we're going to, once again, we're just going to build up some rows of a block of quartz next to the stairs, and it's going to come to the point where we can only place a row of 2 in front of the stairs themselves, and that is where we will stop. So we don't want to have just one, we want to have two, and you'll find that if you build it up from the bottom, then we'll have something that that resembles what we have on the front, and that's perfect. So we have two ways to get to and fro the porch, up and down the porch, and those are both of them. So now we have two awesome sets of stairs. Once you got that sorted out, ladies and gents, why don't I show you what we're going to be doing next? So we now want to take out our stone brick slabs, and we want to place an entire row of stone brick slabs going all the way around the inside of the top of the porch. So when I say the inside of the top of the porch, what I mean is where the highest point of cyan concrete is. So we want to have a row of stone brick slabs going all the way around the top of the porch, and it is as high as the cyan concrete. It doesn't want to be any lower, it doesn't want to be any higher. It wants to be precisely it just wants to be precisely one row all the way around in that fashion. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to add two more rows of stone brick slabs. So we're going to add them coming in from the front. This is going to be two entire rows coming in from the front. So this is going to be one row, and then two, like this. It's anticlimactic because it takes so long, but two rows, and we want the same on the back. So we want to come to the back, and we want to extend two rows coming towards the center of the build. And this is significant because this helps us plan out where the actual house is itself. So what we're now going to do, right, is we're going to lay a foundation of quartz slabs, or block of quartz, whichever is easiest for you. We're going to what am I talking about? We're going to fill in the entire rest of this area using our quartz slabs or our quartz block. And this is going to be basically, this shows you where the house itself is. So the house itself is kind of a little bit magical in the fact that it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. Now, it is a big house, but when you take into account all of the roofs and all of the porch, the house itself, the part that you actually walk around in, isn't as big as you might think. So we've just about done about half of this, and I'm just suggesting that we fill in the floor. I mean, if you're never going to use this house, if you're never going to see the inside of this thing, as I don't with a lot of these cartoon builds, because I just enjoy building the shell of them, and that's what I like to do. So when it comes down to it, it's up to you whether you do want to fill in the entire floor or not. I mean, maybe you skip in past this bit, but I think especially when you look at it from the outside, if things have got a floor at the very least, then it doesn't look as though it looks as though you actually care about it if it has a floor. You can always tell when somebody's actually bothered about a build. It'll have like floors, possibly even a little bit of carpet in there. It might not be fully furnished, but come on, guys. I mean, at least give the place a floor. We've just about finished this, I think. Yep, there we go. So we now have a nice little rough layout at where the house is going to be. So we have a big rectangular area of quartz slab, and what we're going to do is we're going to begin on the very front left hand quartz slab, and we're going to place a row of 12 cyan concrete coming upwards. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. So that's going to be a row of 12. We're then going to go to the right of that by 8, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. We're then going to go up by 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then from this fourth block, we want to do an upright diagonal. We want to go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to slam the brakes on a minute because we want to do a couple of things, alright? So, first of all, we want to connect that bottom fourth block to the left in a manner such as this. We also want to create a triangular shape of block of quartz all the way up at the top of this. So, you can see how the sides of it are already a little bit sloped. You want to place a row of 3 followed by a 1 of row directly on top of this little window. And then we want to take the up left-hand corner block and we want to place a white glass there. And we want to go right of that by cyan concrete, white glass, cyan concrete, white glass. We want to go down from each one of the glasses by 1. And then we just want to fill in the entire rest of this area using some cyan concrete, like this. Cool. Then we want to place some quartz slabs underneath those windows, all 3 of them. And what we're also going to do is we're going to place a layer of stone brick stairs on the sides of the actual like roof here, just up at the top of the build. We're going to extend these stone brick stairs forwards. And what we're also going to do is we're going to, once this is done, once we've just done this, we're going to place upside down stone brick stairs underneath that row of stairs. So upside down stone brick stairs underneath that. And we'll even chuck a stone brick slabs on top of that up the center. So what we're looking at, and it looks kind of weird, we want to have something which should look like this. Now, we then want to remember that row of 4 that we said that we had a lot to do with? Well, not only did we connect it to the left, but we also want to take that same block and we want to extend it to the right by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we should very simply be able to connect all the way downwards, all the way down to that corner on the opposite end of the house. So we'll end up with something that should look like that, right? And once you've got that sorted out, we can begin on the next bit. So on the next bit, we're going to start again once on this very first. So from the very first cyan concrete that we placed, we're going to go right at this concrete and we're going to place a row of 5 cyan concrete going right. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to place 2 rows of glass on top. So that's going to be 1 row of glass. And then this is going to be 2 rows of glass. We're then going to place a row of quartz block on top of that, with quartz slabs underneath the glass. We then want to place, how many do we want to place, guys? We want to place 2 rows of cyan concrete going right of this window. So 2 entire rows like this, going right. We then want to place an entire row of block of quartz to the right of that, and we want to take the top of the block of quartz and we want to go right of it by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want to connect it down. And we want to place glass inside the left-hand side and the right-hand side with block of quartz inside the glass. And we want to place ourselves a white stained glass block all the way up at the top. And we now want to mirror what we've done there on the left to the right. So we want to place 2 rows of cyan concrete going to the right. That's 1 and 2. And then we want to place a row of cyan concrete at the bottom connecting to the right. We want to place 2 rows of glass on top of this. So that's going to be 1 row of glass and then 2 rows of glass. Then we want to place a row of block of quartz on top of that, just like that. And we want to place ourselves some quartz slab directly underneath those 2 windows. So we want to have something, right, which should look exactly like that. And that is absolutely perfect. So once you got that sorted out, we have a couple more details to add. So let me show you. You want to come all the way up to the top right hand corner of the build, and you want to take this corner and you want to place 2 cyan concrete. Well, actually, you know what? You want to place 1 cyan concrete. Let me make sure I'm right. So what we want to do here is we want to place a cyan concrete in this corner, and we want to extend it towards us by 1 block. And we want to place 2 white stained glass underneath the cyan. So that's going to be 1 and 2. And we want to place 2 more cyan coming down. That's going to be 1 and 2. We then want to, and this is a bit tricky, we want to place, going left, but in front of this, a row of 3 cyan. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3. A row of 3 cyan, and on top of it, glass. So we want to basically make what we've just made there, except a row of 3 in front of this, coming left. We want to make this coming left in front of that original row. But then we want to dip back into the house, and by doing that we want to make the same row going left, and we just want to make it 1 block thick like this. So we want to make that same thing. It's a bay window, by the way, that's what that is on the 2nd floor. We want to have that pop out the side of the house. But there's still some more detail to add. So now we want to come to the top left hand corner of the house here, and we want to place a cyan concrete in the corner. And we want to place 2 glass coming down from the cyan, that's 1 and 2. We want to place glass to the right of this. And we want to place 4 rows of cyan concrete going right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to place cyan on top. And we want to place 2 more rows of glass. So that's 1, and that will be 2. And if you like, what you can now do, you know what, this would be a good time for it, is you can completely fill in the front of the house using your cyan. Now, it might be easier to do it from the inside, by the way. So you're going to find that the house looks a little bit weird at the moment once you've filled it all in with your cyan. You're going to find that it's a bit weird. You might want to even add some additional cyan just so that you've not got any holes in your build. But that will all get covered up and it will all start looking nice once we have added in the roof. And there's two roofs. There's one that goes around the middle part of the house, which is like an extended porch, and we've got one big roof that sits, well, on top of the house. And we want to have this. Oh, and also place quartz slabs underneath those two little windows. And what you'll end up with should look, this is a hard part of the house complete, it should end up looking exactly like this. And that is wonderful. Well done, guys. Once you got that sorted out, we can move on to the next bit. So we now want to come to the back corner of the house. So you know where the house is on the back, right? It's where the quartz starts. So you now want to come to the back left-hand corner of the house, or the back right-hand corner. It doesn't really matter where you start. And we now basically want to copy what we have on the front onto the back with slightly less detail. So come to this back corner of the house where it's like near the stairs, this block of quartz right here, and we want to place a row of 12 cyan concrete coming up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we've then got to go right by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an upper right diagonal, go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, do a bottom right diagonal, go down by 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then this is where the copying starts. So we'll connect it at the bottom. We want to also add the 3 rows, we want to add the row of 3 block of quartz on the top middle part, with the top block sticking up. We then want to place windows, so it's basically every other block at the top of this. We've done this one time already, by the way. It's the same as it is on the opposite side. And we want to have 2 rows of glass coming down. That is what you want to make up each window. You want to have 2 rows of glass coming down like this, in between the windows. And we're going to place quartz slabs underneath the windows as well. And we're also going to give this a little bit of a roof. So this is going to be made out of stone brick stairs, the same way that we did on the opposite side. It's going to be stone brick stairs running up the side of this. And it's also going to extend out 1 row forwards as well. So we want to add all of the stairs in. And we also want to add upside down stairs in underneath afterwards as well. So we want to add all of this in, and it'll end up looking fine once we have done it. So it'll look like this. That's wonderful. Now, we have to make the other side of the house as well. So we want to take the very bottom corner of this, and we want to extend it to the right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we want to connect it down. So we're going to connect it all the way down to the corner, like this. So we want to have something which should look like that. And that should look eerily similar to what we were working on the opposite side. Now, we're going to come all the way down to the very bottom left-hand side this, where we have this concrete block, the first one that we start things off with. And we want to go right at this by 5 using the cyan concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to place 2 rows of glass on top of this. 1. And this is going to be 2. With a row of block of quartz on top of that. So quartz on top of that. We also want to place a little quartz slab edge underneath the window. Place 2 whole rows of cyan concrete to the right of this, and place an entire row of block of quartz to the right of that. Take the top block of quartz and go right of it by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And connect downwards. Place a row of glass inside the left-hand side and the right-hand side, with block of quartz inside of the area of the glass. And place white stained glass block above where the entrance is going to be. We have another window to make, so we're going to go right at the entrance and we're going to place 2 rows of cyan concrete going right of it. That's going to be 1 and 2, and then we're going to place a row of cyan concrete at the bottom here with 2 rows of white stained glass pane on top of the cyan. So that's going to be 1 row, and then this is going to be 2 rows right here, We're going to place a row of block of quartz on top of this with a row of quartz slab underneath the window. Like that. And do you want to know the good news? There's no windows on the back. And if there are, I haven't been able to find exactly what they look like, to be honest with you. So if you have any knowledge of what windows might look like on the back, how the back is better laid out than this, then please add it in yourself. But I did a fair amount of research for this. I could not find the layout. I couldn't find the composition of the back of the house very well. And as a result of that, I've just left these parts blank. But I know for a fact that there's a door on the back of the house, and I'm pretty sure that there's some windows as well. So if you know better than me, add it in. If you don't, then just go with what I'm doing and simply fill the back of it in with cyan concrete. So we want to have something which should look exactly like that. Yeah, looking good. Now let's connect the sides of the house together. So we're going to connect the front to the back or vice versa. So we're going to start off by connecting the bottom of this to the back. So we'll connect it the front to the back using a row of cyan concrete. So we're going to place 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1, 2, 3, 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1, 2, 3, 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1, 2, 3, 1 cyan. And we're going to take that row and we're going to double it up. So what that means is we're just going to take that entire row and we're going to add it up on top of itself, like that. We're then going to do 4 rows of cyan concrete. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whoop, that'd be 5, wouldn't it? So that's 4. And we're going to place this directly on top of the window. So it's going to be 1 row, 2, 3, and this is going to be the 4th and final row. We then want to repeat those windows. So we're going to make this pattern again. We're going to do 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1, 2, 3, 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1 cyan, 3 glass, and once again we're going to repeat that row and we're going to have 2 rows of windows. And these particular windows, this is what I've decided, that it's up to you whether you want to do this or not. I've not placed any quartz slabs or anything underneath them, so we're just going to make up the rest of the house. We're going to use some cyan concrete. We're going to come all the way up to the top, and it is once again guys, up to you whether or not you want to place quartz slab underneath the windows. But come to the opposite side and do the same thing. So whatever you've done over there, we want to do over here. First, we'll connect the bottom of the house together using cyan concrete. We then want to, starting on the left-hand side, on the top of the cyan, we want to place a cyan concrete, 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3, cyan, 3 glass, cyan, 3 glass, cyan. And we want to repeat that row. So you want to take that row, you want to shuffle it up 1, and once you've done that, we want to place 3 or 4 rows of concrete. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we want to fill all of these in just above the windows, and well, you guys know what's coming. We just want to fill all of these in, and then once we've done this, we're going to add, you guys know, we're going to add more windows. So let's just add all of this in. Then we're going to add some more windows right here. So we're going to do, start from the left or right, doesn't matter. We're going to do 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1 cyan, 3 glass, 1 cyan. And then, of course, you double up on that row, and then you fill all of the rest of it in with cyan. Now, if you're having any trouble keeping up, I'm sorry about that, but you got plenty of other windows to figure it out from. Like, if you manage to do one set of windows either on this side or the opposite side, I'm sure that you'll grasp the concept, and I'm sure that you'll be able to manage that without too much trouble. So we want to have something which should look exactly like this, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, this is shaping up rather nicely. As a matter of fact, there's only a few things that we're missing from here. Grab yourself the birchwood fence, okay? So we have to place birchwood fence in several areas. So let me show you the first one. So first of all, we're going to be placing 3 birchwood fence on the tops of these stairs on the left and right hand side. This is the front stairs, left and right hand side. We want to take the top block of quartz. We want to place 3 fence coming up. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. And on all of the 4 corners of the house. So on the top of the porch, 1, 2, and 3, like this. And then if we come backwards, we're also going to do 1, 2, and 3. You can even place it here, 1, 2, and 3. And then on this back corner as well, anywhere you've got a corner pretty much, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to place a row of stone brick stairs that connect all of these together. So you want to place a stone brick stairs on top of any one of those, and you want to extend all of the stairs going around the build like this, and they'll just naturally connect to all of the other fence. So you'll see it's just a big square pretty much is what it is. I guess it's more rectangular shape, but you guys get the point. It's a nice normal shape that you just want to connect all the way like this. So you just want to have something which should look like that. We now want to place another set of stairs, one row above and one row inwards in relation to this. So just place a row of stone brick stairs that, once again, one row inwards, one row above this row of stone stairs. So you'll see that on the sides of the house, you'll actually be filling in a lot of space. But on the front and the back of the house, however, you're not filling in as much space. This is by design. Don't worry, we'll be able to work this out from here. So what we now want to do, once that's sorted out, we want to have yet another row of stairs, but this one is exclusive to the front and the back. And we're just going to place a row of stairs starting from here, and it's going to wrap around the front. So it's just a row of... Actually, you know what we'll do? Do you know what would work as well? If we just use stone brick slabs. If we use stone brick slabs, we can actually fill the top of this in like this. Just chuck a layer of slabs on top like this, right? And then fill in the top. So instead of adding a layer of stairs, which is what I was sillily about to do, just add a row of stone brick slabs on top of that, coming inwards, and you will achieve the same effect, and it will look nice. So why don't we do this on the back as well? So all we have to do is we just have to fill in the back using stone brick slabs. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit easier because we don't have that weird bay window to deal with. So just fill it in with stone slabs. It'll look good. And there is, and by the way, look how much better the house looks with that. Doesn't that look a lot better? I'm getting tongue-tied, guys. I don't know why. We want to place a row of quartz slabs now around the top of the third birchwood fence. So this is going to put a very nice trim on this particular part of the roof. It's going to put a very nice trim, and we're actually going to have a very similar trim to this on the other part of the roof as well, because of course there's not just one part of the roof, there's two parts of the roof, and we'll have the same sort of trim here, and we'll place that on the top as well. And as a matter of fact, most of what is left other than roof is landscaping. So a lot of the house has actually been built from this point. So far, you want to have something which should look like that, which is actually looking fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to the bigger part of the roof. It's actually kind of easy. So we want to take our stone brick stairs, and we want to place a row of stone brick stairs going all the way around the top of the house. And when I say the top of the house, what I mean is that this row of stone brick stairs wants to come all the way around the top of the area that doesn't include like the extension. So I mean, you guys can see what I'm talking about. You can see what I'm doing now, and you'll be able to see the result of it. You basically want to go all the way around that portion of the house using your stone brick stairs. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to place an additional row of stone brick stairs, one row lower and one row outwards in relation to that set of stone brick stairs. So one row lower, one row inwards in relation to that set of stone brick stairs. And we're also, you might have already sensed an issue with this. Don't worry, I'm ahead of you. Don't worry. We have that bay window, right? We're going to knock the top off of it. So once we come back to this area, once we've done this row, we're going to plow straight through that, and we're going to connect to that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place, once again, a trim of quartz slabs going all the way around the edge of the roof, just one row lower, rarely is what it is, just half a row lower, half a row lower, one row outwards is what it is. But you guys can see what I'm talking about. You just want to place the row of quartz slabs and all the way around the house like this, just orbiting the roof. It's going to look nice, it's going to look great, and we're just going to want to have something which should look exactly like that. Now what we're going to do, so we're going to fill in the roof. All we're going to do is we're going to fill in the two halves of the roof. It is split into two, and we're going to place a row of stone brick slabs on top of the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the roof. This is basically just a row of stone brick slabs that covers up all of the empty space and covers up the cyan. And you don't want to fill in between the two parts of like the extension on the top of the house. You don't want to touch that with your stone brick slabs at all, because that, well, I mean, I guess you can, but there's no point. And you just want to like fill in one half of the roof like that, and then the opposite half of the roof like the same. It's just the same except mirrored, that's all it is. And I'll tell you what, I mean, you go all the way around the cyan concrete like this. I have missed a block. Go all the way around the side of it. I'm going to connect here, and we're just going to place rows and rows and rows of stone brick slabs just to fill it in. And once we've filled this part in, we're then going to move on to the little mini version of the house that we have all the way up at the top. We'll connect all that together, and that's very simple as well. Basically, we just connect the front of it to the back of it using the same blocks. So once both of those roofs have been taken care of, we want to connect the cyan concretes that are associated with this little with this top part of the house. We want to connect the cyan concretes front to back like this. You only have to do about 3 rows of them. And you then want to connect the stairs. So you want to connect the cyan concretes and then the stairs front to back, just like this, as you can see me doing right now, coming all the way up to the top. You even want to connect those stone brick slabs together. You want to connect these slabs together at the top as well. And once you've done that, we can now just come down the other side, and I'm probably going to do the cyan concrete first. I'm going to connect the cyan concrete first, and then you want to come up from the other side, and then we'll just connect it in the middle. We'll connect all the way up at the top. So cyan concrete here, and then the stone brick stairs coming up like this. All the way up the side, we want to place these stone brick stairs just like that. And that is a monstrous part of the house complete. It's looking fantastic so far. Let's just add some simple details to take this house to the next level. There is a rather large chimney on this house. So this chimney is situated, if you come all the way up to the top left hand side of the roof, you want to find the corner slab, you want to move in by 1. Place an additional slab on top of that, to the right of that, and behind. So you want to have a square of raised slabs. And you then want to raise up these stone brick slabs until they're as high. You know what? It'd actually be easier if we actually use the solid bricks. It might actually be a bit easier. So you just want to raise up those bricks, those slabs, all the way up until they are roughly as high as the roof just to the right. You might even want to go up by an additional block. So raise up all of them until they are as high as the roof just next to it, like this. There we go. And you want to take those top 2 blocks and you want to add a little lip of stone brick slabs coming out. And that is just a very simple chimney added onto the roof. Nice little bit of detail, looking good. In front of the garage, something that you might want to add is a little bit of a drive. So this drive just wants to come probably out about as far as the steps just to the left of you. We're just going to add a little bit of light grey concrete, a little bit of light grey concrete driveway. That's all we're doing. It's supposed to look like literal concrete or tarmac or whatever, but it just looks good. It adds just a slight little bit of detail like that. I'm going to use jungle leaves on the right hand side of the build here, just to build up kind of like a big bush. Like there's a couple of big bushes on the right hand side of the build, yeah. And I'm just using some jungle leaf to kind of like make a curved shape. And it doesn't have to be a perfect curve. It doesn't even have to be a perfect shape. It's better if it isn't. You just want to kind of like build up a shape kind of like this on the right hand side of the house, because there is one. And also, what is also on this particular side of the house as well is trees. There's actually a few trees on the right hand side of the house. I'm thinking that I don't want to add them. It'd be better if I did, I suppose. It would look a tad bit better if there were trees on the right-hand side of the house, but it would look the trees could look too wrong unless we custom built them. So we're going to leave them. We're going to leave the trees. But what is on the left-hand side of the house is kind of like built into a dirt mound. So starting from literally like left of the stairs, we want to make a grass verge that comes all the way from the front of the house all the way to the back of the house. Now, it's kind of up to you where you stop. I'm going to stop on this corner right here. But you kind of want to make a rough shape going from the front left-hand corner of the stairs to the back corner of the house. And we're just going to build this up using some grass blocks. We're going to build it up in a very similar way that we did to the hedging on the opposite side of the house. So we're going to just build this up. And we're going to connect it to the bottom of the porch because I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the show if you're watching this video. It's kind of like built into a hill, built into a little bit of a grass verge, and that's what this is. It makes it look like, it looks a bit weird without the verge, to be completely honest with you. So we're just going to build up a little bit of a one. You can add more if you want. You can add a bigger one. You can add add a smaller one than this. You can maybe even not bother with it at all. It's completely up to you. It's as high as go as high as you want to go with it. Just making sure that it all connects together. So we're just doing, this is how you roughly build up this sort of stuff. You got to do it in layers. Well, I mean, you can just kind of like freehand it all in one go. But if you just build it up in layers, it's the easier way to do it. Just add in some random blocks. Don't make it look too man-made. And we're also going to do the same here. So we're going to add in some here, and now we're just going to cover up this bit too. We're going to cover up that, and here I'm just going to cover up that, and we're going to make this corner bit just a little bit higher, just like that. So we just want to have something that looks like this, and that is looking very good, if I do say so myself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's anything left to add from here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the regular house. It's actually a very regular looking house if you're incredibly rich. I don't know about you, but I couldn't afford a house that looks like this. But I'm hoping that you guys are very satisfied with this build. I hope that you like it. If you do, please remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. I honestly would. If you do hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the build, please like the video. If you want to see more stuff like this, you gotta let me know down there in the comment section. Gotta let me know what else you want to see in the cartoon world other than this. And guys, this is very important as well. This is a very important detail. If you do want to keep up with builds that I'm making, you gotta subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button. That's the only way to ensure that you see all of my builds, and I'm sure you do. If you're subscribing to the channel, I'm sure you want to catch up with what I'm doing. Of course you do. That'd be crazy. And of course, if you do want to see any more cartoon related builds, we have big ones, we have small ones, we branch all over the place, guys. Not only do we do cartoon related builds, by the way, but we do also do like more suburban style builds and stuff, as you can see in the background. But there's plenty to check out on the channel. Cartoon builds playlist is a great place to start. Thank you so much for watching though, guys. I'm hoping that you enjoyed the video. Please do remember to leave that like, subscribe, comment down below, and check out the card system. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.